Today, we will conduct an analysis of a rather fascinating artifact from the 19th century, a book titled The Masonic Offering. Our focus will be on the intricate symbolism and the philosophical arguments embedded within its detailed engravings.
Here is the book itself. Published in New York, The Masonic Offering was intended to be a gift book. But it's far more than a simple decorative object. We're going to delve into the visual allegories contained within its pages to understand their deeper significance.
Now, to properly interpret this work, we must first accept a foundational premise. Allegory and symbol are, in essence, the language of philosophy. The images in this book aren't merely illustrations. Instead, you should think of them as carefully constructed visual arguments, each communicating a complex idea.
We begin with the first plate, which is titled The Patriarch's Vision. The narrative here is drawn from the Hebrew Bible, centering on a profound moment of divine revelation.
This engraving depicts the well-known scene of Jacob's dream. As you can see, Jacob is asleep, and from his position on the earth, a ladder extends up into the heavens. Angels are shown both ascending and descending upon it. It's a very potent image of revelation received not through action, but through quiet contemplation.
So what is being communicated here symbolically? Well, the ladder itself serves as a clear metaphor for a bridge, a connection between the earthly and the divine realms. The angels, in their constant movement, suggest an ongoing dialogue between humanity and a higher power. And the fact that Jacob is sleeping is crucial. It implies that profound truths are often revealed when the mind is in a state of passive openness rather than active pursuit.
Let's turn to the second plate, titled The Prophet's Calling. Here we remain within the Old Testament, but the thematic focus shifts. It moves from passive reception to an active summons to duty.
And here we see Moses at the burning bush. The composition of this image is quite deliberate. Moses, depicted as a shepherd, has his attention entirely captured. Before him is the bush, which is enveloped in flame, but importantly, is not consumed. This signals a divine rather than a natural phenomenon. Again, there's a great deal of symbolic weight to consider. The fire that does not consume the bush represents the eternal, undiminished nature of the divine. Moses' role as a shepherd is not incidental, it's a direct metaphor for his future role as a guide and leader of a nation. The entire scene, then, is an allegory for receiving a divine command, an imperative to undertake moral action and to strive for liberation. For our third and final plate, the hero's duty, we encounter a significant shift in source material. We move from the biblical tradition to the world of pre-Christian classical mythology. This is a very dynamic scene. It portrays the hero Aeneas as he flees the burning city of Troy. Notice precisely what he is doing. He is physically carrying his elderly father Anchises on his shoulders, while simultaneously guiding his young son Ascanius. They are escaping from complete and utter ruin. Every element of this action is intended to represent a particular virtue. Carrying his father is an embodiment of filial piety, a profound sense of duty to one's heritage and to the past. Leading his son, on the other hand, symbolizes paternal responsibility, the duty to protect and secure the future. The entire act is one of self-sacrifice, where personal safety is secondary to the preservation of lineage and tradition. This is the core of the Roman concept of piety. So this brings us to a central question. We have examined three figures from very different traditions: a Hebrew patriarch, a Hebrew prophet, and a pagan hero from Roman mythology. What then is the underlying moral framework that connects them within the pages of a single book? This table presents a synthesis. Jacob's dream is interpreted as an allegory for faith in divine providence. The burning bush comes to symbolize the duty to heed a higher moral calling, and the flight of Aeneas represents piety and responsibility to both past and future. Together, they form a cohesive philosophical statement on faith, duty, and responsibility, virtues presented here as universal human principles, transcending any single religious doctrine. And so, this analysis leaves us with a final, broader question for reflection. The Masonic Offering doesn't just present a list of virtues. It actively appropriates these powerful foundational myths from different cultures and synthesizes them. This raises the question, how does the appropriation of such universal stories serve to construct a new and distinct philosophical identity?